Okay, this one's also weird. I know I said that 2 videos ago, but this one truly is. Half of it, well, actually, it's fully scripted in front of my face right now. But there is a massive chunk of it, and the point of this video is scripted, but I'm going to ignore it. Now, is this a wise decision or not? No, it is not. By far, it is not the wisest decision I've ever made. Because I think it would be easier for me to unscript this, because it makes sense, thinking about this genre of YouTube video, that I don't script this bit, but the rest needs to be scripted, because it's important. So, let's go on. The other day I was reading Jujutsu Kaisen, as one does, and a question came into my mind. The reason this question came to mind was because of a thought. This thought was quite simple. Who is stronger, Satoru Gojo or Toji Fushiguro? Let's not stall this one. At the time of their fight, it was quite obvious who was stronger. Well, strength is quite difficult when talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. First of all, someone could have the most broken ability, Gojo, and not be as skilled as someone who perfects that art like Mei. Also, someone could have Gojo's abilities but not be able to use them because they don't have the 6 eyes, and not learn how to use that ability until they're like 80, and basically at that point they'd be impossible to kill, but they'd be a non-threat. But skill tends to be included in strength. Now that we have that clear, in their first interaction, Toji Fushiguro mops the floor with Gojo. This is due to Toji's knowledge, skill, and instinct. Gojo, having pure strength and ability, is what causes him to lose this first fight, as the weapon Toji uses lets out cursed energy, and Gojo reacts by using Limitless, which doesn't work against the weapon because it forcibly stops cursed techniques, which means if he had stabbed Gojo in the head with it, he wouldn't have used reverse. You know what I mean, he would have died. So, compared to Gojo, who was having trouble figuring out Toji, he seems like a god. This was all stating the obvious, as it was a scene in Volume 9. As I have stated this, I don't really need to go over what happened during the second fight, but I will talk about why Toji ignored his own warning signs. Pride. This will be important later. Yeah, Gojo is stronger after unlocking Red. So let's quickly address a hypothetical. If Toji knew about Hollow Purple, would he have won the second fight? To that I would say there wouldn't have even been a second fight. If Toji knew that Gojo had such a powerful ability to his name, he would be extremely careful, seeing how he let Geto go, because he was afraid what might happen if all the cursed spirits were let go. Not afraid, more like bothered to deal with the collateral. However, if there was a second fight, I doubt that Toji could win. He was rusty, and Hollow Purple is quite worrisome. It's debatable, but if a very much stronger Gojo couldn't kill a special grade curse spirit with Hollow Purple, he probably couldn't kill Toji if he was expecting it. Whatever, we need more information about Toji for this, so let's get on to the question. Toji Zen'in versus Satoru Gojo. When Toji was in his prime, he would have stomped Gojo without thought, mainly because Gojo was a kid/teen and probably didn't even have blue or proper control over Limitless. He probably still had it, but a lack of stamina wouldn't have allowed him to use it for long. Toji Zen'in is Toji in his prime, before he had Megami, or at least before he met and married Fushiguro. Well, it is definitely before he had Megami, seeing where from later. Well, this is his prime, seeing as when he was revived they called him by that name. Also, when he fought Gojo and Geto, he said he was rusty. Now, seeing as the ability to shapeshift into a dead person is caused by summoning bodies' information at their peak, means it isn't weaker than actual prime Toji. This means that any feat that Toji does as a revived thingy is related to prime him. Not slightly weaker than prime him, not even slightly stronger. It matches perfectly. So let's get on to feats. Not that kind of feats. Toji is weird and has 0 cursed energy. This somewhat allowed him to take over the soul with just his body, and I'll get onto that in right a second when I get onto this. When I get onto the true things with this. This makes him immune to 6 eyes. Toji single-handedly beat a special grade with incredible ease. No biggie, Gojo can do that too. In its domain expansion, That, you may think Gojo can do too. But it's never proven that Gojo could beat a special grade in his domain, but he would use his own to break out of theirs. Now, actually, I was reading on this, and yeah, he probably could beat a special grade in their domain using skill and techniques, but if he was low on stamina and couldn't use his own domain, causing that situation, probably not. Also, Toji probably couldn't. Maybe it's not proven that he could beat a special grade when the domain is fully active. Gojo will never be low on stamina, and Toji might be immune to the sure hit attack of a domain. This will probably because sure hit attacks are built to target people with cursed energy, but there's no reason to assume that. But there's also no reason to assume that's not how it works, so we don't know whether he's immune to it. Also, Hikari's immune to Gojo's domain expansion if he has used his domain expansion before Gojo does and got a thingy. I know you guys probably don't know who Hikari is because you're anime watchers and you want to know who Gojo is, but fuck Gojo, Toji. You want to know who Toji is, but I don't care, so shut up. I'm not explaining it either. But yeah, Toji blitzed the second fastest sorcerer in the verse to fight his son instead, which puts him around Gojo's speed. Now I'm gonna talk about that in a minute, I guess, as well. And Toji broke the strongest thing that a domain could throw out. Yes, he did, and he ran on water. Cool. He has incredible stamina, as he could run around Shibuya picking fights and getting nowhere near to losing. He dodges a point-blank attack from his son, like not even point-blank. The panel shows it going into him, and he still dodges it. Not prime, but he does have that cursed spirit that carries his tool. Now, let's get on to this thing I originally put at the end, but because the rest of that's going to be all, like, me spouting nonsense. Yeah. I'm going to get on to it now. This is off script. From here on out, it is off script. Another feat from Toji Zen'in is that Heavenly Restriction. Now, Heavenly Restriction is what caused Toji and Maki, I think it's Maki, I get them mixed up, to have 0 cursed energy. Now, during the scene where Maki goes to retrieve items from the Zen'in clan storage, she gets her ass whooped by her dad, and so does her sister, and her sister sacrifices her life for it. But during that, the Zen'ins mention a lot about Toji, because obviously it's their cousin, uncle, dad, technically. Well, he wasn't there, and yeah, all that. And there's one brat I forgot the name of. He said that he is the strongest and he wishes he was still there. But Toji, being an absolute legend, scared every single member of the Zen'in clan. I would like to mention there is at least 5 grade 1, not even grade, special grade 1s in the Zen'in clan. Not including Naobito, which he blitzes. Naobito is the strongest in the Zen'in clan. At the time of his life, he was the fastest in the Zen'in clan, undisputed, and he was blitzed by Toji. He scared every single one, on to the point where actual members of the Zen'in clan after his death said the only reason they were still alive is because Toji didn't feel like killing them. Right? And if you think that's an overstatement, if you think that's just characters being afraid of Toji because he's badass and fought Satoru Gojo to not stand still to win, is that honestly, if you haven't read the manga at that point, then you're an idiot. But that is the greatest scene, Maki killing the entire Zen'in clan. But he also showed them as incredibly powerful. Choso, I think it was Choso, the oldest of the Cursed Room death paintings, he got his ass whooped by the pseudo head of the clan when Fushiguro was in charge. He got absolutely destroyed, and he was on the same level. He was weaker than Naobito. But because Maki is weaker than Toji, that isn't even not that's stated by characters as they die when they're killed by her, and the fact that she just got the heavenly restricted full power, and Toji had it for quite a while in his prime. So 2 people escaped the Zen'in curse. The others died. One survived, but he's a Fushiguro, so it doesn't count. Well, oh shit, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I've gone off script. This is why I need script. Gojo versus Toji Zen'in. After we got all that through, I babble a lot. I'm not cutting that. Okay. This is the only bit I'm going to say from the script, and that is, I'll be real with you, Toji does not stand a chance. Gojo has domain expansion. He has limitless. He has red, blue, hollow, purple. But to be honest, the only thing that would do a dent in Toji would be the domain expansion, and then Toji's dead. Hollow purple. Many characters have evaded hollow purple, but with massive injury. And Toji isn't one to is one to take a hit on the chin and then get one. He's very risky the way he fights. But he could definitely dodge hollow purple. He's faster than Hanami. But he is faster than Hanami. Because he's faster than Jogo. Yeah. So he could definitely dodge a hollow purple if he could see it coming. Well, it's only if he could see it coming, and all this is assuming that he knows about all this stuff, because he's thinking. Obviously, he'd know about the stuff he knows about, but hollow purple, if he knows about that, then he's dodging it. He'd listen to his intuition, because, well, it's prime him. Trust me. He doesn't not listen to his intuition. Yeah, so if we go in physicals, physical stats like strength, speed, stamina, agility, Toji completely outstrengths Gojo. Gojo has been implied to be a jack of all trades, master of all, but he is nowhere near on the level of a heavenly restricted body. Obviously, because then there'd be no point in a heavenly restricted body. As Maki's dad said, there's no point in a heavenly restricted body that is the same level as a non-heavily restricted body, until she evolved using the death of her sister, and then she became Toji not Toji level. Not prime Toji level. God. I'm rambling, I think. But I think the strat would be Gojo would probably keep Toji at mid to long range. Toji would keep up if he has the cursed spirit with him. Or he'd just be fast enough to get in with the inverted spirit of heaven, stab him a couple times. I'm starting to feel more and more like a shonen power scaler. Well, I did do it a lot in my early days of YouTube. Early days of YouTube. On my older channels. I did it a lot, wrote a bunch of YouTube videos for it, and never uploaded or edited. This one's going to be an easy. Yeah, so if we're talking about how Gojo can heal himself, yeah, he can. That would take a lot of energy. And Prime Toji goes purely off stamina, and he's got stamina for days. He could fight for quite a while. The only time he has ever lost a fight is when he killed himself or against Hollow Purple, which is weird. But yeah, the only way Gojo's not losing, the only way Gojo's losing is if he doesn't use his domain expansion. The only way Toji's winning, well, Toji doesn't win, right? But if Gojo doesn't use the domain expansion, it's about a 50-50 shot that either one wins. But because domain expansions in the newer age of thing are basically insta wins because they have to be. In older Age of Sorcery, they weren't. But like, obviously, I don't know why I'm bringing that up now. It's just a nice tidbit of lore. If it wasn't for that, Toji would be fine. Red, blue, he might get hit by them from time to time because, yeah, blue's faster. I think blue's faster. No, red's faster. One sec, I want to bring up lore. It's an 8. Sorry, I'm bringing it up. One sec, let me just put this down gently. It will be. Where will it be? Shit, what was it? Yeah, it's right here. Limitless, natural negative numbers, -1 apples, real pain, really tired, reversal, red. Yeah. No, it's not in this book. Okay, sorry, I'm looking at volume 8. I thought it was in. He was talking about it, so I thought he would talk about it. But yeah, so Gojo's winning, I think. There's no chance that he's not. If Gojo thinks he's going to need his domain expansion, he's going to use his domain expansion, whether it's for 0.2 seconds or not. You never know. But if Gojo gets cocky in his domain expansion and doesn't use his ability straight away, I'm joking, Gojo's is an instant win. You think a Gojo clan member would have such a... Never. Now we're going to have to go on to Megami. I'm joking, I'm not doing that one. So, yeah. So, now that I've just uploaded the unfinished Toradora episode, I'm gonna just go play Tetris because I got nothing better to do. This video is going to be fun to upload.